Okay, so in this video, I'm going to talk about the easiest way to consistently and reliably generate leads for your remodeling business. Now, this is through what we call a paid social media system. This is easily the most consistent way, the most reliable way. Basically, the money that you put in is the money that you get out. And there's a very specific way that we actually do this so we can generate an awful lot of leads. And this actually leads to the results getting progressively better over time. Now, this video is incredibly important because a lot of remodeling business owners try social media paid ads, they try paid platforms, but their results slowly dwindle over time, and there's a reason for that, and I'm going to get into it in this video. So if you don't know who I am, my name is Ben Lister. I help remodeling, construction, interior design, general contractor businesses to crack the code of marketing to have an excess of customers available to them. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to jump into the computer and we are going to show you exactly how this works. Okay, so I'm on the computer now and I have a whiteboard here. And the first thing I want to mention is the fact that when you are doing your Facebook ads, your social media ads, there's two main points really that we are focusing on, specifically for the ad level. We're not talking about the campaign level or the ad set level here, so no targeting, nothing like that. The two things we're going to focus on is the copy, so the main body of text, and the actual creative. This is the image or the video that you see when you see a Facebook ad or an Instagram ad or whatever it is, right? Now, what I see remodeling business owners do typically is they have, one or two different adverts, sometimes free, and it just isn't enough, right? And the way that they, build these creatives out and build these adverts out is not in alignment with the scientific method, which is really what we want to be doing here. So if I just quickly show you, the system that we have, basically, we have 5 ad sets. This is what we use for a lot of our campaigns. If I just come in here, I think I'm gonna have to zoom in. There we go. So if you imagine, we have 5 ad sets here. Ad set 1, ad set 2, 3, 4, 5, just like that. And now each one of these is a copy, right? So what we would do here, we might put copy 1, copy 2, copy 3, copy 4. But we would probably be better labeling it whatever the actual name of, or whatever, how that copy is. So, if this is a copy that talks about the fact that you are really fast, your work can be completed in a week or whatever it is, you might call this, speed or something like that. If there was one here that was, talking about how high quality it is, you might call it the quality copy. Or if you do 2 of those, you might call it quality 1, quality 2, and so on, right? That's pretty obvious, right? For now, I'm just going to label them, C1, C2, and, so on. Now, when you have these copies here, this is an ad set, so obviously there's adverts inside of this ad set, right? Now, what we can do here is when we have these 5 copies, we just need 4 or 5, maybe 4 is okay, 4 different adverts, different videos or images that we can use. Either they're just a still image of the actual, work that you've done, or before and after, or maybe an edited one, or a video just walking you through the project, or something like that, right? And then inside of each one of these, so inside of each copy, we want to do the same thing, but with just 4 of them, right? So if we do 4 creatives, and this is going to be, ad 1. You're going to have to excuse my horrific mouse skills, right? And just like that. And so what you will see is if we do this for all of them, obviously I'm not going to do that, it's going to take a long time. This advert here is going to be, if I zoom out, is going to be, copy 1, advert 1, right? And then, if this is the speed one, you might call it, speed 1 or speed A1, like that. And now what you will see is when we have, 4 in here and 4 in here, and so on, we have 20 different formats here. So what we're doing with a, maybe a $750,000 ad budget here for the month, we are creating 20 different ways where we can actually find a success. And so the market and the people out there will tell us what is the best advert, So maybe copy 2 is doing incredibly well, right? Copy 2 has got a nice click-through rate they're happy with. And then we see that, advert 1, advert 2 are doing the best there. What we can do here is we can start to focus in on these. So after, a week, 2 weeks, whatever it is, when you're actually happy with the results that you've gotten, we can start to cut different ones off, So let's say if copy 5 was not getting a very good click-through rate, we might just deactivate that one and focus the budget on this. And, after a while, copy 4 is not doing as good, so we might get rid of that one, right? And then we have these. And then what we've noticed is that advert 3 actually doesn't convert on either of the copies. When we put this together in a table, the actual conversions for copy for advert 3 is not good. So, we might get rid of these ones as well. And so at this point, we've gone from 20 and we're now left with, 9 there. So we've got down more than 50%. And the great thing about this is when you have this system in place is you have so many chances to be successful, right? And it's very rare that you're only successful with one. You're usually successful with at least a few of them. And so what we can do, if we are successful with at least a few of them, in order to actually improve the adverts in the future, we can take parts of, copy 1, advert 1, copy 2, advert 1, say these are the best ones, and we can combine them together. So if we have a copy here that's, speed 1, I mean, if you can read that, that's not great handwriting, but if this is speed 1, and this is quality 1, right? So we've got a copy here that's revolved around the speed of the work, and a copy that's revolved around the quality of the work. What we can do is we can fuse these together, right? And we can create a copy that focuses on both of these. So we can take the best parts of, copy 1 and copy 2 and maybe create copy 1.5 or whatever it is, or copy 1B or something like that, right? And this then, in theory, will be better than the current copy 1 and copy 2, because you're taking good things about copy 2, putting it into copy 1, and you're going to create this sort of, baby of 2 copies coming together, which should be incredibly successful. And so I don't know how I would actually draw this out in the system, but let's say we do another one, through here, and this is going to be copy 1.5. And then what we can do at this point, we already know that, adverts 1, 2, and 4 are the best, right? We've got rid of number 3. We could just do the 3 of them, or we could retest with the 4th one. Probably not the best considering those have gone, so we might just do the 3 of them. And so obviously if we come in here, we have 3 more ads here that we can test out. So if we know that copy 1 and copy 2 have been successful, we probably want to keep running them, because eventually over time they will start to die out. People will get used to them. We have what we call ad fatigue, where if a lot of people see the same advert again and again, they kind of just get used to it and the click rate goes down, because they've seen it a million times before and they're not being exposed to anything new. But obviously with this copy 1.5, maybe we can throw in some extra creatives as well, some extra adverts. So, that's going to improve the actual, it's going to reduce the amount of ad fatigue that's out there. And, we want to keep these ones running at the same time, because, we know that these are successful. If we just stop, for example, and go to copy 1.5, what might happen at this point is copy 1.5 fails for whatever reason. We didn't actually pick the best parts, we picked the worst parts. So now we've taken all the good bits away and we have the worst parts, so it's not as good. So if you only have this one running, then you're going to be missing out on leads for those few weeks while you're testing it out. So yeah, basically, this method here is pretty foolproof. If you have 20 different formats through, only 5 different copies and 4 different creatives, you're bound to find a success. If the chance of success is just 10%, then you're probably going to get two successes, which is, a lot better than a lot of campaigns. And, because this system improves over time, because, we're picking out the best parts, this is really the moneymaker, right? A lot of remodeling business owners that I speak to, they say, oh, we tried Facebook ads before and it worked well for a while. We had a good run for 2 months and then it slowly started to die off. And this is the reason why it died off, because they didn't make changes. They didn't take any learnings from what they did previously. And basically they were just left with a system that was, slowly dying. And this is really the theory of entropy, obviously the understanding of the idea of entropy, that basically all things do die eventually and things just slowly do die out, whether this is, an idea or, an ad campaign or something in nature or anything like that. And yeah, this is basically just applies to your ad campaigns as well. And so another thing that I want to point out just quickly, because this can be a bit of a sticking point for businesses, is that sometimes, Facebook or Meta, or, if you're using TikTok or Google Ads or whatever it is, they don't like to push the adverts that you want them to push. If you have 4 adverts in here, right inside one copy, let's say you only do 1 ad set on your campaigns, for whatever reason, Facebook will decide, or the advertiser will decide that, ad 1 is no good. And it will just decide that. It will say that the engagement's low, people aren't staying around for too long. And so what it will do is just not spend the budget on ad 1, which is kind of frustrating sometimes, because, you've budgeted $1,000 for the month and advert 1 has only had, $20 for the whole month across all the different ad sets that you have, or just on your ad set, which is frustrating because you haven't really had the chance to test it at that point. And so what we would have to do in a situation like this, if you did want to force Facebook or the publisher to actually go and test this, is instead of having a system like this where there's 5 ad sets, you'd want to have 20 ad sets, which is exhausting. It probably takes a long time to set up. But yeah, basically it would work with this system, but instead of it being, 5 like that, it would be, 20 ad sets across here, all the way across. Each one is basically, so the first 5 would be copy 1, then the next 5 would copy 2, and so on, and you would just have 1 ad in each one, so you still have 20 in there. Obviously, my diagram needs a bit of imagination, but apart from that, I hope you can understand. So yeah, that's just a thing that I've noticed a lot, especially recently with Facebook. They just seem to do their own thing and to, decide the most. And sometimes, for example, they're not pushing advert 1 at all, and you force them to push it by making it its own ad set and obviously giving it its own budget at that point. So, you're giving every single ad set, let's say, $50 for the month or whatever. So it's $1,000 for the month. And basically you're just forcing Facebook to push it. And you can actually find that the CTR is way better than any of the other ads. And you only find that out by actually making them to deliver the adverts and to give you the impression. So if you are looking for ways to generate remodeling or contractor or interior design or construction leads, go ahead and click the first link in the description. It's not some, 5-figure course or some free training or some, webinar or some event or anything like that. It's just a video of me explaining how my company can help you to do this. I don't mind if you click it or not. If you just want to watch these videos and watch my terrible drawings, then that is completely fine. You never have to click it, and that's okay with me. But if you did enjoy this video, if you found it useful, if you're going to implement this into your business, then please do leave a like. If you want me to cover anything in the future, any topics that you would, need a hand with or you think might be useful to be discussed, then leave that in the comments, and yeah, subscribe if you want to see more. Appreciate you watching this one to the end, and take care.